and welcome back to Superhero Speak. I am your host, Dave.
I'm your other host, Don.
Yes, it's been a week. We were off
That it
last week because of the Super Bowl, but we are back and better than ever, I think.
That's right. Yeah,
So yeah, and we're gonna talk. What are we gonna talk about tonight? We're gonna talk about. I don't have the email up. Not much though. We are gonna talk about the Super Bowl a little bit. We got a trailer for Spider-Noir, which is we'll talk about that. A little bit of
Mandalorian
yeah,
Grogu, quote unquote
commercial.
trailer. Yeah,
There's a rumor about the future of Star Wars and some possible Doomsday news. And what was the other thing you wanted to talk about? You said it. You sent me a text. I forgot to include it.
Oh, that no, it was the Henry Cavill, getting
Oh yeah,
hurt
yeah. We'll talk
on
about that a little
Highlander.
bit.
So
Yeah,
okay,
sure. Because there's not. It's not much to talk about. Not much going
it's
on right now. It's that post holiday stuff, and yeah. We'll get
Super
into it.
Bowl, so we don't have the NFL stomping us down, sealing our viewerships tonight. So, yay!
Exactly.
Can't wait to see all the people. Hopefully, see our chatters.
Yes,
And I guess we'll see if Kassan continues to hate us by not being here.
I know. I don't know what we did to Kassan, but apparently
It
he's upset
happens.
with us.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, how are you, sir? How was your week?
Yeah, no, it was a crazy week with my wife being in the hospital. In fact, I watched the Super Bowl in the hospital room. And but shout out to my kids who did a great job through all that. Long story short, spoiler alert, everything's fine and great and she's recovering. I'm happy for that. But then yeah, we've got the Super Bowl, which is of course a thing. So we'll talk more
Yes.
about that. So I won't dwell on that too much. Had a great Star Wars tabletop session. Although you may actually you may have some empathy here being a fellow like D&D player, like you plan this kind of branching stuff out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but you have all this stuff kind of planned for this branch, and you're like, oh, they're probably going to do that, so maybe put a little extra panache on that or whatever. And then yeah, when they get to that branch, they're just like, nope, we're going to do this. It's like, okay, well, we're going to end it there tonight. It's like,
Oh, the worst was like you want to start them off, let's typical D&D campaign. You start them off in a tavern. They all meet at a
yeah,
tavern, and you've thought of like a couple characters in the tavern to tell the story. Like there's the old mysterious guy, and then there's the bartender. But then they start asking all these questions like, well, who's around? And oh,
right,
so you make up a couple things. There's a one. Oh, let me go talk to the woman. It's like like, why are
right.
you testing me?
Yeah, like do you really want like, bar patron simulator,
Yeah. There you go.
like that's one thing, but yeah, we want to kill monsters and get loot. So she don't know shit
Exactly.
about that. She serves drinks.
That is what we're here for, to kill monsters and get loot. Um
Like, do you have a deep desire to hear me try and imitate a woman's voice? Like what? Come on, what's going on here?
how about the Valentine's Day? How was that?
Yeah, I mean, it was good just to have my wife home, but yeah, certainly brought her cards and flowers, and it was a great day. So
Did you plan? I mean, I know things were a little up in the air with her
yeah,
health and all that. Did you try to plan anything, or was it like, did you go to CVS yesterday morning and buy a card?
yeah, it wasn't really planned. I mean, it wasn't. It was a spontaneous impulse sort of thing, actually, because
Okay.
we were really trying to save money. But yeah, I was like, fuck that, whatever, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So I love her. So what are you gonna do?
I know. And when you've been together for a while, it's kind of like, you know.
But you gotta ward against that though. That's the thing. You gotta make it a little. A woman tells you she doesn't want you to do. She does.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. I've been
They're
informed of
very
that many
susceptible.
times.
Yeah, they're very susceptible to like commercialism, holiday stuff. Yeah. So you gotta play that game. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Oh, and of course, finished Fallout. I know we don't talk about that on the show, but that's a great show. So, like to hear what you guys think about it in the comments. And discovered a great another trading card game. It's Star Wars. Star Wars Unlimited. I know it's been out for a while, but me and my buddy just kind of been playing it, and yeah, it's fun. So that's kind of how my week. The ups and downs of that. What about you, Dave? How was your Super Bowl Tines week?
Uh, it was good. Yeah, we'll get to the Super Bowl in a minute.
Hmm.
But other than that, work's been weird. Uh, anyone who works
Mm.
for a
This
we
coming
got
from a guy who one of your one of your workplaces blew up.
yes, yes. But I mean, anyone who's worked for a large corporation has dealt with this kind of stuff. There was a reorganization. Um, it didn't affect my department directly, but there is some weird political stuff going on, and we don't currently have anything to work on. So it's like,
Whoa.
yeah, that's a little scary when stuff like
Okay,
that.
that's upgraded from weird
What?
to really kind of sucks.
But the funny thing is, it's like it's not like there's no shortage of. It's not like there's a shortage of work. There are
Hmm.
things to do. We're just
Yeah, you
not.
just can't. I got you.
We can't work on them right now because of political BS.
So you
So,
all just like logging in and like having conversations on Teams, getting paid, or like what's going on with that situation?
doing trainings and stuff, because
Ah, the training.
because
I see.
because you know what? Unfortunately, as we have said many times, AI sucks, but it's inevitable. And I work in the tech field, so everyone's like, "What are you doing with AI?"
Oh
So I'm
yeah,
taking some AI trainings right now and getting ready to, do AI stuff, as it
yeah. No,
were.
that's definitely the skill upgrade people like you and I, because you're a developer. And yeah, anymore you could say, "Hey, Microsoft Copilot, I need this SQL code that does this." I
Right.
don't know about none of well, I do personally, but you don't have to know anything about that, and it'll spit out.
Right.
So and I'm an analyst, so yeah, we both have to learn to be more subservient to AI. No, I mean we have to work with it though at the very
Oh,
very least. So yeah. But
oh
yeah, we'll
yeah.
have meetings and stuff, and yeah, now people will just send over an AI generated uh, meetings notes, and I can tell because it's a lot like what I was making my campaign.
Mhm.
So yeah, interesting about AI. Where I know we didn't include this, but I know I did send over about that company that is going to use AI for video games, and I just think that's interesting. I know that someone lost, the Expedition 33 lost the game of the year for using AI, but there are actually video game companies out there that are like, no, I mean, we want to get stuff on deadline. We're gonna need to use this. So,
Right.
I don't know, see how this all evolves. But yeah, in corporate America, AI is firmly entrenched and in control at this point.
Okay, so sorry, I got a little distracted for
Yeah.
a second here
Oh.
because there we are. Okay. I didn't see us live on X. Um,
Oh.
and it was funny because normally we have a few viewers on X and we don't tonight, but we are live. I just checked. So I don't know.
We just
Anyway,
suck.
yeah, it's what do you want? It's
Nothing's broken. We just suck.
yes, exactly. Uh, that's what my girlfriend does. I mean, anyway,
Oh.
um,
Yikes.
uh, Valentine's Day was good. We got together, went to a movie in the afternoon. Um, the only issue was her one son. Um, so her oldest now he works overnights. He works on Saturday nights, so he had work. Her other son has a girlfriend, so was out with the girlfriend, and then the other son is single and did the whole like whiny thing because when she said because she lives with her mother who is blind and she has to take care of her. So she said to the son who was going to be home, "Can you take care of your grandmother, make sure she's fed and everything?" And he did the yeah, I guess. So she felt bad. So we went to the movies and then we went back to her house and just ordered some Indian food and hung out with him. So
No, that's cool. Well,
yeah. What are you gonna do?
I have a soft spot for people that are single and yearning on Valentine's Day. It does kind of have to suck. So
Yeah, it does. I guess. I don't know.
yeah, I mean I wouldn't know either, buddy, but I'm just
it's been a,
saying.
it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I was
Yeah,
single on a Valentine's Day,
yeah,
um, uh, where I was pining to be with someone. So
right.
yeah, um, so yeah, and then of course the other thing is last week we were off because of well, you were dealing with some issues, but it was also the Super Bowl, and we were like, let's not compete with it, and let's do our let's just let it happen. And this was an interesting Super Bowl for quite a few reasons, but let's start with the biggest, most obvious one related to nerd fandom. There were no ads or trailers for any superhero movies, which that might be the first time since the MCU blew up that has happened.
Yeah.
With three big superhero movies coming out this year. One which is coming out in May. No, not May,
Mm-hmm.
June. June, which we have not seen any trailers for yet, which is of course Brand New Day. Um, and this there was an article that came out said, "Oh, they're skipping the Super Bowl this year," with no real explanation on why. So, what do you think about that? Do you think the companies don't feel it's worth the money, or do you feel that they're maybe they're being more let's say conservative with spending money on stuff like that to advertise the movies?
Yeah, and I mean I've said it on here that they got to find ways to be more cost effective. So, yeah, it does look to me that Marvel has made the correct decision in my analysis to say we don't need to spend millions on the Super Bowl trailer and this and that. People know when the movie's going to come out. If we want them to see something, we'll do it on the internet or whatever. But why spend money doing it? The hype's already there. Superhero speak's already out there talking about
Yeah,
all that's going on. So we're not going to worry about it.
I mean,
It's unexpected. I didn't expect it. I thought we would see a Spider-Man trailer.
yeah,
That's been rumored that, and we even said it here, like, no, we'll see it no, we're not going to see it. We'll see it in the Super Bowl. And here
yeah,
we are. Super Bowl's gone and passed, and we still have not seen the next Spider-Man trailer.
yeah, and that was the thing too, because even when they didn't show it at the Super Bowl, I'm like, oh well, they'll release it this week online, like because the rumor is that the trailer's done. It was leaked. Um,
Yeah.
so hey, Travis, how are you? We're doing good. So it was weird, like no trailer yet. I just it's strange. Because I'm the biggest Spider-Man fan here, I think, and I've loved the movies, but I don't know if I'll go blind to a Spider-Man movie.
Right.
Uh, that would be interesting. You know, and so we'll see. But even not just Marvel, DC as well, right? Like
Yeah, no, nothing. The
No,
only thing geek oriented whatsoever was the Mandalorian Budweiser commercial parody thing. Um, which, I love Star Wars, but if you're going to spend that money, why'd you do that? um, yeah, I don't know. I was very let down in general by the commercials in the Super Bowl. Like, it's officially not like a thing anymore that you get to see these epic, cool commercials anymore in the Super Bowl.
um, Travis, it's right. I forgot about that. Back in 2021, Venom 2 and No Way Home. We thought there would be trailers, and there weren't. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's them being fiscally
So
responsible.
I mean, and let's. I'm gonna say something controversial here. I feel like the day of the Super Bowl ad is done,
Yeah.
and it's the internet killed it because the bulk of those commercials that were in the slightest bit interesting were online before the Super Bowl came out. The majority of people they were trying to reach already saw those commercials before the game. We live in a world where there aren't people that aren't on the internet anymore. The people that aren't on the internet are all in their 80s and aren't watching the Super Bowl anyway.
Yeah, but there's still a large contingent of the population that doesn't go looking ahead of time for Super Bowl commercials. I assure you.
But I'm saying it's not even that. Like, I think sometimes they get fed. If you're on YouTube and watching something, some of those ads got fed to me before the game. Just watching videos. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah, it started on the day of the Super Bowl, but not. Yeah, I don't. It's like,
There's going to be a devaluing here because I know I think
yeah,
you're right. Is it going to be over? I don't know because the NFL is still huge. They have games all across the world now. They'll add more teams here soon. Like it's just the most popular thing on the face of
well,
the earth.
yeah, well, let's get to that. James Burton, how are you, sir? Uh, again, I think we're doing okay, right, Don?
We're doing good.
Yeah, Travis is right. Less people watch TV, so views probably don't matter anymore like they used to. So the money they are getting back is likely next to nothing. Um, that's true. Like I think I heard somewhere it was like 5 million. It's now up to 5 million
Yeah,
for an ad on the Super Bowl. I remember when
it's
I hit
just
him.
it's
I,
not good for companies that are already established.
yeah,
It's a way to get your name out there.
right. But if you're also an up and coming, you don't have $5 million to spend on a
Mhm.
single ad.
Exactly.
So
Hence the
yeah,
problem. Or else we would do it here at Superhero Speak.
exactly.
We'd get to our $100,000, no
So
problem.
so 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 when it collapses, you will see us advertised on the Super Bowl.
Right.
But that's the thing too, right? There's this weird push to make the NFL global, and I think that is affecting it as well. And I'm okay. Hold on. This is slightly going to delve into um, where is it? This is slightly going
Oh,
to delve into some political. I don't think it's political, but people have made this political. So the NFL is trying more and more to be international. So what do? They introduce Bad Bunny as the halftime act. Um, I guarantee that 90% of the people who watch the Super Bowl who and live in the United States had no idea who Bad Bunny was when they said he was going to be the halftime act. Like they have no idea what a bad. I didn't know who Bad Bunny was. I never heard of him. I guarantee most people who watched the Super Bowl had no idea um, who he was. Because first off, and no offense to this, but he's from Puerto Rico, so he's an American, but he's all his records are in Spanish, right? And I think it's 15% of the population in the United States speak Spanish, right? So right there, you're not appealing to the audience in the country where the game is being hosted and all the teams are from. Um, and then, uh, but you're doing it because apparently he has a big international appeal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
like, cause I thought it was a lousy halftime show. I had no interest in it. I like watched the first minute and I was like, I had to like change the channel. Like, this is terrible. Like, you know, the other side of that is I don't know if you saw any of the videos that have come out uh, of people who were in the stands at the Super Bowl during the halftime show, but
Mm-mm.
most people are just standing there because they have no because they don't know the music, and if they're shooting their phones or they're showing the stage. But remember, I don't know if you remember, he had like all those like that grass
Well, yeah, no,
people.
that was one of the things I was about to say because I don't know who Bad Bunny is. I've never liked any halftime show. I've always watched, like back in the day, Celebrity Deathmatch, or now I'm gonna go get some more food, some more drink,
Hmm.
smoke another cigarette or something, And but I did watch this as I was in a hospital room, and that's exactly my thought. Like, when did the halftime show become like a concert for the people that are there? To getting shot for just TV, because if you paid all this
Hmm.
money to go to the Super Bowl, all you saw was grass for the most part.
Yes, yes, like all these
People
videos.
dressed up as grass, by the way.
Yeah, all
Uh,
these videos came out and like they couldn't see anything.
yeah,
It was all for the cameras for TV. And it's just
that's a legitimate gripe. Yeah,
so why do it? Right? Like and when they were working with the NFL and talking about this is what we're gonna do with the show, like why did no one stop and say, well, wait, hold on, you've gotta like be entertaining to the people
yeah.
here. Like it's not just for the TV audience. But I think they said, okay, it's fine because they knew he was for the TV audience. He was for the international audience to try to get them to watch it. However, some of the numbers have come out, and the audience dropped down to half during the halftime show, which is like that's the first time in Super Bowl history that has happened. People did
Mm.
turn it off. Did people did flip the channel and didn't watch it? So that's also
Well,
why I'm
the
kind of
Puppy
saying.
Bowl was really good. I hear though, Dave.
But that's the other reason I'm
So
saying, like, I think it's going to start collapsing because if this hurts their overall viewers, they can't charge 5 million for ads anymore. So, you know,
yeah,
because
but
because
it's
the thing,
football.
because here's the thing I'm going to say too, right? Like, again, we're not. This isn't a sports podcast. We're not sports guys. We're we're nerds. But I don't think American football has the international appeal they wanted to have. You know, I think there's a little bit of interest in some countries, but like I remember what one of the teams was playing in England last year, um, near the beginning of the season, right? Like, does they do a few games? Like the Eagles went down to South America this year. Another team went into England. And I can't
Yeah.
remember who it was. It might have been Pittsburgh. Was playing in England. I can't remember who the two teams were, and they were like, "Oh, we're in whatever town." I'm don't know English towns. No offense to anyone in England watching this, but they're in the town and they're like, it might not even have been England. It might have been Scotland, but whatever. And they're like, "Oh, we're at a pub where there's all these people excited about the game." Everyone they talked to was an American who flew over to watch the game.
Oh yeah.
There was no one from the town that they were interviewing that like was like, "Oh yeah, we love American football." So it's just like they're
I
trying to create an artificial hype for something I don't think exists.
well, yes. That's just their strategy. That's how they think they're going to grow. but absolutely, there is a large swath of not American population in this world that detest America because it's American, like American football. Like to me, it's my belief that that's why there's so much fervor for soccer because it's not an American sport. So it's like, but it has a lot of other countries and stuff involved. So that's kind of what started that fervor. No shade to soccer, I just compared to
Yeah.
football. But anyway, I played football, so I'm not a big sports guy, but I'll always have a spot for that, just knowing what it
Yeah.
takes to actually play that sport. And I think that that's kind of the wondrous thing about it. But yeah, no, I'm with you. It's they're just trying to break that mold, and I'm with you. Like they're not really good. Yeah, all they're going to be able to do is generate a place for Americans to go enjoy American football over in Europe. During
Yeah. I mean,
so
which I
yeah.
guarantee the towns there love it because they know it's going to bring in tourism
Oh
from
sure.
America.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So they're
Yeah.
all about it. No, exactly. No, it's
Yeah.
purely a you know capitalistic consumption thing. Which hey, I mean whatever it is, it's a football team. But
Um, I'm not sure what James is trying to say here. It's like tabling at San Diego. It's not cost responsible or a decent ROI. Yeah.
right. It's really like we're here. You bought your way into the big time almost.
And Steve says, I mean, sorry, Travis says, Bad Bunny, the Spider-Man villain that who never got to be. uh, I mean, no offense to the man, he's got a following, but he doesn't have an appeal in this country. So was a weird choice in my opinion.
I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, I've heard people like Bad Bunny. Who's bad? That's a crazy name, Bad Bunny. It's like,
yeah,
wouldn't it be, well, he can converse it and be, good hair, or
I
bad,
think
or would you rather be bad hair instead of bunny?
the days of like, I mean, I know you said you're not a big halftime performance guy, but the days of like Prince or Tom Petty, the Stones, the Who at the halftime show was like,
The Who's one that kind of got me. I like the Who. I
okay,
mean, I'm over them for a while, but I did like that one. I
yeah.
did
I
like that
mean,
one.
and it's funny because it's gonna sound weird, but like country music is always been big in this, and has actually gotten bigger in the last couple decades, or at least the last decade. Like why they don't have a country performer come on is beyond me. I think that would have a huge appeal. That would get a huge audience. I'm not a country music guy, but I think it would. People would tune in for that. So, what are you gonna
I'll
do?
have to take your word for that one, buddy.
Oh, I'm telling you, because there's a lot of artists who've delved into country. Beyonce, a couple years ago,
Yeah, I
remember?
mean they all sound the same now because my wife loves country,
Right,
which is
but
great for me to have to go through. Uh, um,
but what I'm saying is, like, because they know there's an appeal there. There's an audience for that. So
sure, there's an
so
audience. They had gangster rap, one West Coast gangster rap, a couple years ago, and all the
oh,
50-year-olds were all about it.
exactly. We're all under the gangster rap. All right. Well, you know what? Enough of that nonsense. That's how we're doing, people. So let's take a quick
Yeah.
break and have our good friend Dark Don tell you where you can find more superhero speak.
Darth Don here. And you must subscribe to Superhero Speak if you haven't already. And if you have already, make another account and subscribe again. You also will like this video. And while you're on the HoloNet, go to superheroespeak.com. Find the links to our merch and purchase one of our shirts. Don't skimp on the shipping, or else I will trap you in a box with an agitated gundog named Brie Lawson. I would just force lightning you, but we don't have that in the effects budget. Now, back to the show.
A couple more quick comments from Travis. You're onto something. It may sounds insensitive, but look at the Disney animated films of the past 5 years: Coco, Elio, Luca, Strange World, Wish, and so on. All Hispanic European influence. Yeah, very much so. Like that's
Oh, Encanto. My kids love that one.
Encanto. Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
And then he also said none of that is a bad thing. Speaking as an Asian American myself, but for the American audience, you risk oversaturating other cultures to the point of where it's unattainable to people from America. I mean that's the thing, and it, yeah, again, not it's not necessarily a bad thing, but when you oversaturate and you were like people sit there and say America has no culture. Of course, we have a culture, you know. Um, so it's just like, yeah, when you're erasing our culture, or not erasing it, but oversaturating it, where people don't feel proud to be an American anymore, you're just going to hurt yourself in the long run. So that's
Yeah,
just
but on the contrary, though, we are a melting pot, and like I don't know, oversaturation. Like I think we're getting a lot of Asian culture. Red Panda. Obviously
okay.
Mulan, which they've redone.
Okay.
With the K-pop Demon Hunter, like, I don't know, kids love all that. I don't think it's oversaturation.
Hold on. Hold on. You just said it. You said the term that everyone gets wrong: melting pot. Melting pot doesn't mean you come here, bring your culture, and then boom, your culture now just becomes, your culture stays. No, it's you come here and melt into the American culture. You don't you accept American stuff, or I'm sorry, United States stuff, and you keep some of your culture, but you incorporate it, right? Like there's a thing where it's just like, no, you can't have that because it's cultural appropriation, and that is not what a melting pot is. A melting pot is everything gets mixed together. It's all good and equal, not keep it separate. So yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I guess, maybe you're right. Melting pot is the wrong thing because I guess I'm really not of the mind that says, "Oh, you have to come in and meld as the one culture." Like, no, we've so many cultures,
You
and,
can't.
and we want that, Dave, because the rest of the world, like the birth rate. I don't mean to go Elon Musk on you here or nothing, but the birth rate, like people
Well,
losing population, is a thing. So we actually want more people to
then
be here.
you need to go knock up some women.
Well, I couldn't find any ethnic, no, only white women like me. Believe me, I'm hoping for some, grandbabies that are more diverse, but we'll see. Hey, I'm just saying, my kids, they have their culture, but they absorb a lot of other cultures, and it's not like a thing. It's just like, hey,
Yeah.
that's what it is. That's
Yeah.
great.
I
So
hear you.
maybe melting pot is wrong, but I'm just saying, they'll be mixed in all together.
All right. The other thing though, we did get one, like people calling it a trailer, but it's really a commercial for Mandalorian and Grogu
Yeah,
during the Super Bowl. It was a silly little thing where they're riding on what looks like Hoth with the Tauntauns pulling a sled, and there's like voiceover about like their bond getting stronger along the way.
yeah.
And then Mandalorian Grogu and the date. So what did you think? Did you like the commercial?
No, I mean, it was okay, but I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, That really? Like, that's it?
Like why? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, why you just spent millions for that? You could have put it on YouTube. We'd have watched it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it wasn't even like it wasn't a trailer where it showed you any new footage from the movie to get you excited to see it. It's just like, that could have been a commercial for season 4, as opposed to
Mhm.
a trailer for the movie. So don't know.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was a little excited because I actually have been rewatching The Mandalorian because I feel people are not properly remembering just how good it is. But
Yeah.
anywho, yeah, I'm getting excited for the movie, and that came on, so it did give me a little excitement. But yeah, but after I was kind of over that, I'm like, wow, that's what they spent that on. So you know, but I get. I mean, they were trying to get some hype. I just don't know if that's what that did. Didn't get me hyped.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything. Want to see some stuff. That was just. It was kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, what do you I guess, you guys let us know what you think. The comments down below. Did that get you hyped for Mandalorian Grogu, or were you like, what's the point of this? Why did you spend $5 million to show this to me during the Super Bowl?
Rewatching The Mandalorian's getting me
There
hyped
you go.
for because yeah, that show brings a lot of good things to the table. Awesome.
Yes. Well, speaking of the Mandoverse, or the
Mhm.
New Republic verse, whatever they're kind of calling this period of the Star Wars time frame.
Yeah.
We all know that John Favreau has been a big part of shaping this. He helped bring the Mandalorian to life on the small screen for Disney, and he's been a part of the journey all the way along. And so okay, I'm gonna preface this with the only site that like has this as an article is in Behind the Magic, or Inside the Magic. And Inside the Magic is kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not necessarily
Trash.
trash. It's not necessarily fake news, but they will take a comment from a person and blow it out of proportion as if like it's Bible. They'll take rumors and report them as fact. Um, so it's we got this covered, but just for Disney related stuff.
No, that's
Um,
exactly no, the Exhibit A. The name of this article by Chloe James. John Favreau confirms Lucasfilm exit amid the Mandalorian and Grogu uncertainty. Then let's go to the John Favreau quote. I've been working on the Star Wars now for 7 years, and to be able to set it up to doing it as a film feels like a culmination of what I'm working on.
right, which was in an interview with Polygon. He didn't say I'm
So this is a
leaving.
trash site. This is a trash article, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, but I saw a lot of people sharing it on social media, so I
Of
figured
course,
we could
because
talk
of the
about it.
headline.
Yeah,
But no, I dare I scroll.
that's like
But
saying
but of course, there's 18 friggin' ads before you even get to
yes. That's
the
the other thing.
quote. So just the internet news, written news, clickbait
It
is trash, and this is part of it.
it's like
My take.
if the Russo brothers were doing an interview with anyone during Endgame promotion of Endgame, and they could have said, "Yes, this is like the culmination of the MCU." Right?
Right.
That doesn't mean the MCU was ending. It just meant like, yeah, this is like everything that we were working for. Here it is, working towards. Here it is. It's the end of this chapter, and he's just kind of saying like, this is kind of the end of the chapter. And they're also saying that now it's that we're talking about a season 4 for Mandalorian and Grogu, and that's now up in the air depending on things. Like apparently there were scripts written for season 4, but they don't think they're going to use them.
Well, they're going to use this as, just kind of tell them where to go with this. That's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
So they're going to wait and see.
Agreed. So
but
I think
Jon Favreau, man, there is, outside of like, a loved ones, there is no one else on this earth, I think, at this point that I am just more thankful for than him. I mean, he is literally, oh my God, I said literally like one of the kids. He is the person that started the MCU with Iron Man. He quote unquote saved Star Wars, depending on your point of view, with what he did with the Mandalorian. Like, I don't know. He just gets me. He gets us. So I truly hope, he's around for a while. I think him and Filoni can do some awesome stuff.
He's definitely one of us. Yeah. He gets it. He understands the fans and what the fans really want with a lot of this stuff. Because like Iron Man is probably the best example where
so good.
Iron Man was a second, third tier character in the comics. No one really cared about Iron Man. Like they did at one point, and then he kind of went off the rails for a little bit, and no one really cared about him anymore. And when it was like, well, we're going to make an Iron Man movie, and people are like, and it's like, well, it's who they own the rights to, right? Like they had the three core Avengers, Thor, Iron Man, and Cap. So it was like, okay, we're going to make those movies, and if it works out, we'll stitch them together. And the funny thing was, they didn't even know if it was going to work. They didn't really have a solid plan at the time. But Jon Favreau came in and like he took it seriously, but gave us the things we wanted in an Iron Man. Like we didn't even realize we wanted them in an Iron Man movie, but he gave us those things and made it great, and it's amazing. It's funny. I saw a recent clip. I saw a clip. It's an older clip, but I just saw it recently with Robert Downey Jr. and how he was talking with David Letterman, and he was asking him like, "Are you like when that thing comes in the first movie and bolts the mask to your face? Is like that really happening?" And he's basically like, "Yeah, the first movie they wanted it to be as practical as possible, and they put this helmet on me, and then these LEDs light up the eyes, and I can't see a thing out of this, But but the funny thing is, and I'm, and and then of course he said by the time we got to the Avengers, I'm like, they're like, oh, get the helmet. And he's like, no, just put dots on my head and draw it in later. Which, I mean, maybe in the long run that was a good decision, but you go back to the first Iron Man movie, CGI is getting there, but it's not completely there yet. And Jon Favreau, like he did the right thing. Practical effects, especially at that time, had more of a weight to them. They were better looking. And it was like, yeah, put him in a real suit. Like that original poster of Iron Man down on his knee and he's punching the ground, and it's like, that's a person. That's not a computer generated image. That's not an animator drew it. Like that's a guy in a suit sitting there, and it's one of the things that sold that movie. So like that's the thing too. Like he not only did he get the fans, he got what it took to make a good movie, make it look real, and make it a success. And he's doing the Lord's work, as they say.
Oh, right.
So yeah, hopefully he's around for a lot more stuff. Speaking of the MCU and Iron Man, the current now this was from an interview with somebody who is involved with the director, I think. No, not the director, but somebody who's involved with the movie. And it makes sense. I definitely have theories about this. but it has come out that the central character of Doomsday, besides Doctor Doom, is Steve Rogers. And what I'm going to say, my theory is, and you can tell me if you think I'm full of hogwash or not, is him going back and staying with Peggy is the screwed up the timeline and is causing the incursion that got Doctor Doom's attention. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. Attention, and for him to start causing all the chaos that he does. So that's my theory, and that's why Steve is the central character in Doomsday. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm really having a tough time with that because on one hand, I do think that is a direction they'll go. On the other hand, it doesn't make much sense to me with all the goofy time travel rules. So if they do that, they're going to have to explain more time travel shit.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to hear. But yeah, I think they will go that direction, unfortunately.
Yeah, because it's it is one of those things. And people haven't really said this, but it's what was the need to bring Steve back in this? And I get the argument of to sell tickets, but you have to make it work in the story. You can't just bring Steve Rogers, Captain America back just to sell tickets. Him to just show up in a cameo, it's whatever. But making it the story, which I feel since the first trailer shows him with a kid living in the 50s with Peggy, that's going to be an important aspect of this. And I feel it's going to be this is a total guess out of left field. Or maybe it's not. Maybe I have sources that have told me
unverifiable, unidentifiable
unidentified sources that are telling me that that's the crux of the movie is Steve has to make a decision to give up the life he built for himself to fix the timeline and go back, or just fight Doom and somehow stop the incursion. So yeah, which also means that he could be dead by the end of the movie. Who knows? So,
or a version of him dead.
or
I don't know at this point. We're just going to have to find and see. Sometimes I wish, us Marvel MCU fandoms would be more like the Avatar fandom. Because
okay.
I actually meant to mention this earlier in the show, and I feel bad because the person I'm about to tell you about, I told him it'd be at the front of the show, but
okay,
totally look like a dick on that. But anyway, so at my second job, I met some people, and one of these people got a tattoo of one of those little floaty things from the Avatar. I don't know what they're called, from the Avatar movies.
Yeah.
And so I asked, oh, wow, why do you have a tattoo? You must be a very dedicated fan. And, oh, yeah. And I basically found out that everyone from ages 15 to 25 and up, they love the Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the movies, it shits out $1 billion, and then they shut the fuck up. And then they come out with another movie, and they just fucking go. And there's not really all this big hype over Avatar movies. They just, hey, it's coming out.
Yeah.
There it is. We made $1 million. But after talking with her, that's exactly how that fandom, it's widespread, but they all unanimously in synchronous for some reason throw fucking money at the movies when they're out and then shut the fuck up till the next one comes out and repeat. And I know internet YouTube shows like us would have less to talk about if we wouldn't have
we wouldn't have a show. So
but it seems to be better for the overall. I mean, just health of the properties. So
All right. Well, let's see what
anyway,
Travis has to say.
yeah,
One take I have by bringing back the old characters is Marvel addressing how the new mantle holders like Sam Wilson haven't earned the place from the audience perspective. Huh. Um, you see this in the TV shows where lead actors leave, hate replacements. People don't hate replacements because they're not the original. They hate having the original stripped away. Then the new guy walks on the scene. Yeah, you know what? That is actually a good way to look at it, right? Like, yeah, all these characters are all these actors are gone now, or were gone. Now they're back. Um, and it's not necessarily that you hate Sam Wilson as Captain America, or that you hate um I'm trying to think of some of the other characters. What's the Shang-Chi, or any of these characters. It's just that they're not Thor, Captain America, and
right.
and
Not, yeah, exactly. Thor, Captain America, Hulk, now Iron Man.
yeah.
We want to see those core characters, and to me, them bringing Robert Downey, and that's why
But
I didn't like the move, because I
it's
think at first they're like, oh, they want to see the actor that they're familiar with, but no, it's the characters.
and it's not also not even so much because, yeah, I mean, recasting is always an option, but it's also the fact that because they did it with the X-Men, it's also the fact that, like, you felt Tony Stark earn that place. You know, the tech guy for the Avengers getting all the funding, it whatever. You saw
Yeah,
Steve Rogers, Captain America, earn his place as the leader of the team. You saw Thor, like, earn his spot. And then, like, okay, now all of a sudden Endgame's done, and we're popping in new characters who haven't earned it. Um it's like you're on season 15 of a show, and the whole main cast left. So
yeah. I mean, that's why to me they need to do the MCU or really any comic, because comic worlds are kind of meant to be timeless a little bit, and so they got to learn how to do these epic arcs, and then get new actors, because of course humans don't live forever.
yes.
And yeah, you can't. We're you're still gonna want the A players, and to me, them casting and bringing back Evans as Steve Rogers is them admitting that okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you guys don't care about anyone other than the core Avengers team, and of course the X-Men. Now, there's a ton of X-Men that we care about, so they got that going for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're gonna need to recast, because these characters, I know it's tricky, but they are meant to be timeless. Hey,
Okay, so I was about to say, look, first we got Thrawn coming on. Luke, you sure you can pull out at that speed? Just like Brie Larson Canyon back home. And then look,
wonderful
Kassan! Hello,
fellas.
Kassan.
Oh, this is great. So you don't hate us. Thank you. We were
Yes.
waiting for you to.
Yes. Football season's over, so they're here.
Okay. They don't hate us. They just really liked football.
Travis also says when Topher Grace was leaving that 70s show, they introduced a new guy named Charlie prior to his exit, who was well liked. Unfortunately, the actor also found a new show and left. I remember that. I liked that 70s show. So that 70s show
Was
brought
fun.
in Randy after they were both gone, and the audience has hated who the audience has hated. Don't take away one character, then replace them like both. But like both interact and then pass the torch. Yes. I mean, Topher Grace was like, "I'm a movie star now because I'm Venom," and we see how that worked out. Uh, Work schedule sucked. Yeah, sure, Thrawn. And Kassan said, travel, football, sickness, and finally forgetfulness. How could you forget us? Look at us. We're 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 beautiful men. Uh,
Doesn't matter. You're here now. Great to see you, fellas.
yes, as we're getting to our last article of the night. um, and you know what? Here's the thing. Like, I know I wanted to try to play the trailers. I got to find a way to like flip them and do something to them because when we did
Yeah.
the one episode with all the trailers, it got demonetized, and I
Hmm.
didn't feel like arguing with the powers that
Yeah.
be. Um, but we should talk about this Spider-Noir trailer that came out. It's a
Okay.
series coming soon to Amazon Plus, or Amazon Prime. I I was confused for a while because I thought it was a movie. I didn't realize like no, it's a series. Um, so we got our first trailer, starring Nicolas Cage as Ben Riley, not Peter Parker, Spider-Man Noir. And I have a theory on why he's Ben Riley. Um, but what did you think of the trailer?
I gotta tell you, this show is going to miss me by 8 miles. I mean,
Okay,
it's
Eminem.
I'm not a Spider-Man guy, but this isn't even Spider-Man. This
Right.
is Spider-Man super adjacent. Not only, noir is not I'm not interested at all. So that's two strikes. And then you've got Nick Cage acting like his character from Broken Arrow, or a little bit of a Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider in there, at least transformation. Uh,
Wait.
so
Nicolas
yeah,
Cage wasn't in Broken Arrow. That was John Travolta. Look.
or Face Off. Sorry.
That was a good one. I know it wasn't intentional, but that was a good one. So,
Yeah.
uh,
So yeah, that's I think this will be another chore. I'll be open minded.
all right.
But I mean, just the way he acts, it almost seems like Sony's trying to get a little Deadpool action going. So I just
All right.
none of this appeals to me.
First off, we have to give a little bit of praise and credit to the brilliance that is Nicolas Cage and the Nicolas Cage career. The actor who has played more superhero characters than any other actor on the planet, and multiple times he was Superman a couple times. He's been Spider-Man Noir, Big Daddy, Ghost Rider. I mean, come on, the list goes on and on. He is comic books come to life. But with that being said, like I'm gonna be honest. I know the character from video games and cartoons and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. I've not read the noir books. My understanding it is like like a what if alternate reality where it's the 40s or whatever, and he's a hard
Yeah.
boiled private eye character
Private Dick.
as opposed to high school student, uh, photographer, science student.
So was he Ben Riley? Like, I remember Ben
No,
Riley in a whole
he's
nother
Peter.
different way.
Yeah, no, he's Peter Parker. My theory behind why he's Ben Riley is people forget that the contracts that were signed, that the from when Sony got the rights to the character, um, there are stipulations about the Peter Parker character that he's a white uh, high school aged male, right? Like he has to be those things. So now they want to do, and these contracts exist. I am 99% sure they all exist before Ben Reilly was even a character in the comics. But there is a weird clause in there, like, because they own any character that falls under the Spider-Man purview, and of course Ben Reilly's a clone of Spider-Man, so they in the comics, so they own the rights to use that name, and I'm sure they talked over to Marvel. So that's the thing, to not break the contract because they want him to be a hard-boiled older person and be the detective, and they want to use Nick Cage because he was the voice in the movie, in the animated movie. Like, what do? You make him Ben Reilly. Like, that makes sense. He's like, because they never say he's Ben Reilly in the cartoons, and they probably never thought they were going to go this far with the character. So now they are.
Did they say it was Peter?
No, they don't, because he's just in the costume the whole time.
Ambiguous. Okay.
Yeah, it's ambiguous. So yeah, like, so I think that's why they're doing it. It's a stroke of genius, because unfortunately we'll never get a Scarlet Spider Ben Reilly live action movie. Like, that's unfortunately not going to happen. That was my dream for a while. Like, they could have done all these spin-off movies they were going to do. If she's not going to be part of the MCU, you want to have a spin-off Spider-Man series, do Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, like that would be brilliant. You can make the character slightly different and have fun with it, but we're never going to get it. So yeah. It's weird because, like, obviously I didn't read the comics, so I don't know the full story, but it definitely, I think this is part of the character, like, because I don't think it's a radioactive spider. I think it's experiments are done on him that give him the powers. And so, like, he's going kind of mad from it. And that's what they're showing. And it feels like not only noir, but correct me if I'm wrong, I felt like it had a slight horror feel to it as well. Like an old school horror movie, the way that the trailer runs, he's like, I
could see that.
I have ticks, and they show him, like, doing that, and then it's like, and thoughts and blah blah, like saying all these things are happening to him because he's becoming
the Twilight Zone.
Yes, very Twilight Zone-y. So, it's also interesting. You have two ways to watch it. You can watch it in the black and white, or you can watch it in color.
I could never do the black and white. I don't get that at all. Even those black, white, and red movies and like
so no. What was the name of that? Shoot. What was the movie Marv and Sin City? The Sin City movies.
Oh yeah.
Nah, they're not for you.
Nope.
Huh.
It's not absolutely forbidden. I mean, there's that Star Wars animated show. There was one when all the different sort of animators did each episode.
Yeah.
There was one that was just black and white and red with red lightsabers. That was pretty sweet. I know anything Star Wars. I'm just
I was about to say it has to be something you love. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What do we got? We got Thrawn saying they're going to let Nick Cage do some Cage gloriousness, and I'm there for it. Thank you, Thrawn. You get me. You really, really get me. What is Travis?
I do get that.
Back in Phase 3, interest was piqued when Black Panther showed up in Civil War. Less than 2 years later, he has a movie, and only a few months after that, you see him again in Infinity War. It's interesting when you look back and realize Captain America is kind of bombed, but Infinity War still made over 1 billion. I think there's still hope for this phase. I think he's getting caught up on our comments. Avengers, not Infinity War, yeah. And in Noir, Green Goblin is a gangster, and Vulture is a cannibalistic henchman who flat out eats Uncle Ben alive. It's insane. Oh, so there is a horror element to Spider-Noir. Cool. I'm in for it. I think this will be. I think it'll be interesting. You know, I mean, we're obviously going to watch it for the show, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, that is funny that you know, he's mentioning when, you know, Black Panther was brought in and the first Captain America movie bombing, like that was before I paid attention to stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
you know, that was back where, like, you know, my buddy Mike, rest in peace, who I used to talk with, he knew the comics 10 times better than I ever. He read all the events. I was an X-Men guy. He was in every, you know, he read everything. And so when these movies first started coming out, he got to see uh, Iron Man and Captain America. He was like, you know, we agreed. This guy's acting like Captain America. This movie's written. This is Captain America
Yeah, yeah.
from the comics straight. You know, so whether it bombed or not, whatever. But I don't know. That was a great. That when you watch that movie, and you're like, this is Captain America. And I felt that way with the Iron Man too. Like, yeah, Iron Man, never my favorite, but still, I watched that and was like, holy shit, this is fucking Iron Man right from the comics. This is
Yeah.
awesome. So the man, but here we are now, fast forward, you know, we're talking about Ben Reilly, Spider Noir, you know, it's gone a long way where it used to be, you know, I just want to see the character from the comics come alive in these movies. And now we're in alternate versions.
Okay, Travis. Having read Noir, I speculate Ben Riley is a pseudonym he's using to keep people from knowing who he is, but I think it may be a right thing to not having two live action Peters in separate projects. Okay, that's an interesting take. Again, I didn't read the books. I'm going to probably get the omnibus before the show comes out, so I can at least read, or you know, maybe the first collection, so I can read some of the books, get an idea of what I'm in for. Because again, it does feel like there's going to be a horror element to it, so I would like to be prepared for that. Um, Thrawn says we can have like 8 Bruce Waynes, but only one Peter Parker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so true.
But don't you feel, I mean, come on, Thrawn, don't you feel that like the average moviegoer, like us who are comic book fans, like we get it, you know, alternate universes, blah blah blah. Like average movie going fans, don't you think they get confused when it's like, you know, Ben Affleck's in a movie, and then all of a sudden you've got the guy from Twilight, I can't think of his name.
Paddington, you know.
Paddington shows up, and it's like the average person is like, "Wait, I thought Affleck was Batman." You know, like because my girlfriend is the average. She's not a comic book fan. She's the average viewer, and she says stuff like that to me. Like, "Wait a minute, what
Yeah,
happened to
no,
Batfleck?"
my wife the same. So no, there is definitely a large demographic that will not do. They don't understand that stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think it's, you know, like I like Travis's theory, but I do think they, for the sake of keeping things straight. Now, you also run the risk. Again, the average person doesn't follow this stuff and don't realize, and they're going to go, "What's this Spider Noir movie? It feels like it's a copycat of Spider Man."
Yeah,
You know, well, I'm sorry, TV show. So we'll see. But again, since it is a show on Prime, it's probably only going to attract true comic book fans. So
why is Dick Tracy wearing a black Spider-Man mask?
good question. Uh Thrawn says not really. How many dudes have played Hamlet? Performances shows out. Yeah, perform.
That is a great point. And you know, these comic book stories are kind of like that, and we're going to have to get used to. Yeah, you know, look how many people have played Joker at this point. and multiple of them, most of them have done great jobs. Now, of course, Jared Leto is a blight to anything that he touches, and the Joker notwithstanding, he's the only bad Joker out there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, their comic book stories, superhero stories, been called modern day mythology. So, it makes sense. Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. Travis says a great way to end the noir show, especially if it's black and white, is Ben at his desk pulling out Rubik's Cube. I like that, which is the only thing in color, and a portal opens over his head. Ben smiling. I like that. Yeah,
think he
because
could
that
get
is my
included into Secret Wars.
no. He's talking about because this is from the producers of Across the Spider-Verse and Into the
Oh, the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse, right.
And that is one of my questions. Is this it's Nick Cage. Nick Cage was the voice in the cartoon. Is
Right.
this the same Spider-Noir from the previous movies? Is there going to be any kind of mention of
It should be.
yeah.
I feel that puts a little panache on it because everyone loves that Spider-Verse shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't see why you wouldn't. Like if you're the same producers, same company,
Yeah.
You want to tie it all together. I don't see why you wouldn't at least mention it. Like, oh, that time I went across the Spider-Verse and fought with Miles Morales, something like that. And then maybe he will show up in Endgame.
Not Endgame, Secret Wars.
Secret Wars
or Doomsday, whatever.
Doomsday.
He should. I would like to see it happen.
Yeah. All right.
But I'm the type that likes to see things be as close to they can as the comics, and he's kind of a big deal in that story in the comics.
So that's the question we have for all of you. Should Spider-Noir, the series, be tied into the Spider-Verse movies and or the MCU? Let us know in those comments, in the comments down below, if you're watching this after the fact.
All right. Tell us F off in the comics. That's all the same. We're fine.
Yeah, just comment. Gets us out there more. All right. Well, it's that time, Don. It's the time to ask that question that we do every time we get together.
What did we learn on the show tonight?
So tell me, Don, what did you learn, or do you have any recommendations, or both?
I learned that unless I give you some sort of clue, you really will not play that news snippet thing.
Oh my goodness!
That I like.
All right. I promise. Next time we get together, it'll be.
You don't like it, man. I don't want to force you. Recommendations. And again, I've never played a Fallout video game at all, but Fallout, the show, is great. Oh, what we got here?
Oh, Nick Cage is drunken, rambling, and crying like only he can. Talking about Miles Morales and Peter Parker would be hilarious. So yeah, they're both for it. Both Thrawn and Travis are for tying it all together. So go ahead.
All right. Recommend Fallout series there for sure. Great. I recommend you watch The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. A great time. I love revisiting that stuff. Maybe it's just me and my little universe of Star Wars. I don't know. But I just love being able to go back and watch all that shit. I'm a big fan of Disney Plus. Anyway, there you go. That's what I recommend.
All right.
You should be a sponsor of this show, Disney Plus executive that may be watching the show.
Actually, I have that's a whole nother thing we'll talk about offline, but maybe not a sponsor, but maybe we can get a partnership with Disney Plus. Let's see. I learned something tonight.
Fallout. Okay.
that Kassan and Thrawn, and Travis and James and all, they tolerate us. They really, really tolerate us.
They really do. I know. I'm touched.
Yes, they came back after all this time. We're happy. We're happy to see everyone here. I'm sure there's more. There's more that we haven't seen in a while. Marcellus, I know you still watch us once in a while. Where have you been? But regardless, yes, it feels good to hang out with all our friends on a Sunday night. Recommendation, I got an interesting one. Totally not nerd related in a sense. But it is the movie that my girlfriend and I went and saw on Valentine's Day. Solo Mio, starring Kevin James of all people. So it's like, and you're looking at me like, no.
I'm like, what rom-com?
But
Kevin James, here we go.
Here's the thing that made this movie great, because here's the funny thing. Okay, there's a few things that made this movie great. Because I'm the one who wanted to see it, not the girlfriend. There was a social media campaign. I'm sure that the channel will go away soon. But so Matt Taylor is his character's name in the movie, and before Christmas, maybe back in November, this it might have even been in October. This account showed up on social media called Matt Taylor Art Teacher, and it was Kevin James, and he would sit down and he would like, oh, I'm going to show you how to paint this, and like he's actually painting the stuff too, which is amazing. Like, and he does all these different paintings and whatnot, and he just talks about life and being a teacher and whatnot, and like a video would come out every once in a while on this account, and like everyone's like, that's Kevin James, and he would not address those comments at all in the videos, like, and like this went on for months, and then I looked it up and it was like, oh, okay, so this movie was coming out, and like at the time they didn't say what the name of his character was, but it did get revealed at one point. Matt Taylor was the name of the character, and like the videos that were leading up to the beginning of the movie, because the movie basic premise, he's an older guy, never been really in love before, falls in love with a fellow teacher at the school he works at. They get engaged, decide to go to Rome to get married, and she leaves him at the altar. And then, he stays in Rome on his honeymoon and meets someone else, your basic rom-com. But what makes this a good movie for guys, I'm being 100% serious. It's a rom-com, but it's a guy's rom-com. It is written from a male perspective. Kevin James is the main character. The women are kind of incidental in the movie, and it's really good. It's well written, well acted. It's a great movie. Like, I mean, I'm not saying run out to the theater and see it, but go check it out. It's a fun movie. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. No, I'm not handing over my man card.
I'm just thinking, like, so this is what he watches instead of Fallout or Twisted Metal. I get it, though. No judgment.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. That's all we got for this fine episode of Superhero Speak. So,
over an hour, and it was just
just BS. Yeah, we're good at BSing. We're BS experts. If you like BS, make sure you're subscribed. And on that note, boys and girls, as always, thanks for watching. Don't let your cape get caught in the door. See you next time.
If you haven't done so yet, subscribe. It really keeps this podcast alive. Smash the like button if you please. It gives us what we need. Maybe leave a comment or two. It's a really nice thing to do. And what are you waiting